Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles 2, where we discuss all other subjects other than SPs. Hello, my name is Anna, and I've created Magic and Miracles to help people to manifest the way that I see manifestation. Not everybody understands manifestation out there in the world. I think a lot of people are just regurgitating each other. Not a lot of unique thoughts are being offered. And having done the research myself for the last 15 years, I was deliberate in my own journey to develop a unique voice, one that really resonates with people of all walks of life, but also just delivers the practicality of the information and doesn't make it so ambiguous and so hard to fucking understand. And so in my own journey, I developed this way of understanding manifestation, and this is what I offer in my coaching one-on-one. Understand, to get into my coaching, you need to first book a 1 hour session. This is mandatory. In order for us to conclude that we both want to work with each other. I think the chemistry has to be right. I think we need to resonate with each other. Please do familiarize yourself with my work before booking. I think it's only fair to you. Everything, the way that my coaching is constructed is to benefit you. And you will need to book that session, sign the coaching agreement, reach out to me when you can do so. Upon concluding that session, though, you need to book the signature, what I have developed for the YouTube audience, the signature coaching program. You will need to book that in order to be next in line to begin coaching with me, and I will discuss this in session with you when you can commence coaching with me. So there is a waiting list, but I will discuss when you can start. I do recommend 2 to 3 months in my coaching in order for me to completely impart on you every single step of my coaching program, and for you to have the time to really adjust in frequency, to quantum leap those realities that you need to quantum leap in order to achieve your result. Whatever it is you're working on right now, I don't particularly care. I work in all areas, SP included, of course, but also in business, self-development, obviously. It's all about self-development, but essentially all the areas of your life. So all that information is directly below in the description. And also the link to my other channel, Magic and Miracles, the original one, is also below. And today's subject is the confidence of the Golden Buddha. Okay. So for those who are new, you should really subscribe. Do yourself a favor. You're going to learn so much on this channel, unlike any other channel, because I just give it to you straight and raw. I'm a very honest coach. But also to let you know what I mean by the Golden Buddha. I channel for my recordings and in sessions. And I don't know how, but one day I was recording for YouTube, my original channel, and this term came up as somebody whose state is so high, they are vibrating gold energy. You know, the ultimate self, the higher self, you could say. You can call it many names, but essentially the person, the version of you that you want to become, if you had all these things that you really wanted. And it's not a fairy tale kind of situation, it actually can happen. So in this audio, I will be discussing it, I'll be honest, from the perspective of a business owner and in general entrepreneurs. And I feel the confidence, it's just everything. That's the secret ingredient to doing whatever. Whether you're in sales, whether you're attracting a partner or negotiating in a deal or buying a house, whatever it is, whatever you are kind of like currently dealing with, requires confidence to come out on top and to really to get the result that you ultimately want. And growing up, I did not have supportive parents of what I really wanted to do. As in terms of, artist, being an artist, being an actress, a fashion designer. I started designing clothes when I was making my own clothes when I was 15, and that became a thing for me. And I feel like a lot of people are today in particular walking around just really, I don't know, as if there isn't like this abundance of ideas in the ethers. And their natural inclinations will be usually the golden roadmap to where your genius actually lies. In other words, why was I so inclined to, start making my own clothes? Because I have a natural inclination to it. In other words, whilst everybody's trying to copy each other and they think there is some kind of a recipe for success, it isn't like that at all. It's all so backwards and so freaking just annoying and really unoriginal when everybody's trying to mimic each other and trying to fit in. The very opposite is necessary to be successful. Just by not doing things like everybody else, you already stand out in the crowd, number one. Number two, chances are that if you're really, it's your natural inclination that you have the skill set, even though you've never gone to school for it, etc. Somehow you know it. I mean, listen, I'm Russian, so, when I was growing up, I started sewing at age 5 and things like that, and crochet, knitting, the whole shebang, because my grandma taught me, and it was just in my genes. But you may have a talent that's completely underappreciated. Now, if it was up to me and I had the chance to start over, I would definitely start a company when I was 15. But nobody was fucking encouraging me. And so I feel like a lot of people are pretending like there's a lack of abundance of money or opportunity or jobs. And I always, I never had a regular job other than for one summer. I was like a real estate agent. It was totally disastrous because I fucking hated it. You see? So there you go. That's one example. So whenever somebody tells me, like, well, I'm not finding this job or whatever, you be the job. You create that opportunity. You write that fucking scenario for that movie. You cast yourself in the movie and get yourself, produced and this and that. But the idea, that you need to fit in into the crowd, it's so fucking dull, annoying, and boring. You need to be exactly who you are. This is where the genius lies. And I wish somebody fucking told me this, what I'm telling you right now. If you have an inclination towards something and you have no support within your family or whoever, you need to be your own pioneer. I mean, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Get to know the people that already have done what you want to do and source inspiration from them. That became my fucking obsession. I would study people and, research and read biographies and just, take classes and all this kind of shit because it was interesting to me what others had done and what is the commonality, what is the common thread. And inevitably, 100% of the time, you will be successful if you arrange it in such a way where passion meets discipline and an expected outcome equals success. But it starts with passion. Then you just need to introduce the discipline of practicing certain kinds of things and putting in structures in place. And then expecting an outcome. There obviously must be a goal to get to. But I wish somebody told me that. Just persevere with your passion. Yeah, there will be some sucky days or maybe months. But if you just stick with your passion and if you really believe and put in the research and the work into really perfecting that something, you're golden, my darling. You're just fucking golden. But many years, in my case, for example, have been spent in self-doubt. And is this really, does anybody really needs to see this? Or does anybody really need me? The answer is yes, you exist, don't you? So just automatically, understand, by existing, by being here, first of all, you will always exist, as Bashar says. But that's beside the point. But you're here. Automatically, you're part of creation. And what you have is unique enough that by you becoming authentic and sharing yourself with the world, you automatically, provided, again, the discipline and expected outcome, you automatically become successful. For me, I'm a stubborn motherfucker. I set my goals and I persevere like a really fucking stubborn donkey. There's no stopping me. If I really set a goal, my expectation pulls it in like crazy. And I think this is another thing that, believing in yourself and believing in your product and really being honest about with yourself. Like, is this the best version of what it could be? Doesn't mean that you stop yourself halfway and wait for years of, perfection. I mean, depending what kind of product you're dealing with. But it simply means, am I challenging myself? Am I getting better? Am I making progress? Am I researching? Am I improving? Am I leveling up? My fashion company had many incarnations, and I would never kind of give that experience up. But I wish somebody had told me what I'm telling you today, like I said, because it does take an enormous amount of commitment, an enormous amount of self-belief and confidence, because you love that something so much. You don't let yourself entertain other ideas because they're most certainly probably coming from some kind of an insecurity. But that's the part that you really need to watch and monitor. How much is that fear, is that insecurity part of the fucking conversation? If you let them take over the conversation, oh, don't worry, it will. And you will sabotage your projects, delays will be created, and this and that. If you laser sharp focus, you don't give yourself the room for self-doubt. You're like a Central Park horse, excuse me, that is zeroed in on the target and will not stop until that target is achieved. So let me tell you a quick story. I just thought of it the other day whilst I was kind of thinking of this audio recording of it. When I was 13, this is the first example of my dedication to what I really wanted to accomplish. When I lived in Monaco, we had a competition in school, in high school, I suppose. They call it differently there. That's why I said I suppose. And so they organized this competition of who will be able to donate the most to this children's charity by essentially going around and collecting gifts that these really expensive stores would give you in exchange for what, I have no idea, but I think it was just a donation kind of thing. But because there were such fancy stores there, for them, it wasn't a big deal. So the goal was whoever collects the most of these things and collects the most of these donations wins the competition. And I know it sounds so silly maybe to you, but I was so committed to hitting every single luxury store. I even remember Le Boulevard de Boulogne. Okay, those of you French speaking, Le Boulevard de Boulogne, I can never take it out of my memory. It's etched in my memory, like every single store. And I was only 13, and I was like talking to these like grown men, you would say, everybody was a grown man to me back then, but they were much older than me, and I would like have this whole spiel in the sales pitch going around from stores to store. Like I would be like hustling, okay? Be like, give me everything you have, okay? I have to win this competition. Like for whatever reason, it really became, maybe I was touched that it was a children's charity. I don't remember exactly the thinking, but for whatever reason, I got really inspired to do this and to win. And I fucking did. I mean, I would go after school. I would go during the lunch. I went crazy. I'm going to be honest. But the thing is, I achieved my goal, and that's all that mattered to me. So if you put together a goal for yourself and you see the vision so clearly, then it becomes like, again, how much are you conversing with your fears versus your inspiration and what awaits you on the other side? And you should have goals to really have this motivation, because I coach, all sorts of people in my coaching, and it's so important to have baby steps, because every single day is another baby step towards like a brick in your empire kind of situation. So to be committed to daily work, to whatever it is you're accomplishing, and even on a sucky day, understanding that it's about the journey. It really is about the journey. So what are you learning right here, right now? It's going to be invaluable down the road, as long as you're committed to the goal. Somehow, what you're learning right now is essential for you to then implement down the road when you cross another leveling up situation. But as long as you're improving as long as you're achieving a baby step towards it every single day and you don't let your fears stop you, you go towards the passion anyway, those are the kind of stubborn motherfuckers that succeed. What can I say? It's just about showing up. I think it was, I could forget which filmmaker said it. It's just about showing up and not running into furniture. That's what acting is about. And notice, it's not necessarily what others are saying to you. Not at all. It's all about the dedication to your art form, to whatever it is, that the business that you have, the creation, the piece of music, the whatever, the screenplay, etc., etc. It's you really loving and taking it through this journey of making a presentation of it. If I just, if somebody, like, again, simple truth like these, if somebody just told me at 15, persevere, just maybe you're not quite there yet, but persevere and sharpen your tools, sharpen your skills, and make a good enough presentation for people to understand who you are, knowing your identity, knowing what you're all about. And then just do the work. Just show up and don't run into furniture. And you're going to be successful. And be nice to people, of course. This is the confidence I speak of. I think those creatives in particular, when you're creating from the heart, you always know the kind of energy you give it. And so unmistakably, that energy always gives back. But this is, the question for you. What is it that you're really passionate about? And what do you see yourself do, by the way, parenthesis here, even if you weren't getting paid? Well, which of course you are. But what would you do even if you weren't getting paid? Okay? And make a living. Figure out how to make a living out of that. Because there is a way. Right now, you might not believe it, but there is a way. Trust me. I've done it. People in my coaching have done it, etc., etc. People around the world have done it. So why not you? And I guess I'll conclude with this. Have confidence in yourself. Again, don't question what is really authentically you. There's a certain expression of you that maybe lays dormant in you. Becoming confident about who you are as as someone who needs to express themselves this way and create this business or create this whatever project. Believe in that this has a place in eternity. It belongs. There's a reason why you're inspired by certain things and uninspired by others. So giving yourself the opportunity to experience this real connection to source through expressing. Everybody basically channels, right? If they're really doing it out of passion, they're really channeling everything they're doing. Like the artist, the businessman, the whatever, these inspirations, intuitions, whatever you want to call them. And to allow yourself to experience doing things in this way, it just takes you on an entirely different level. Okay, this is why the passion for what you do, the authentic passion for what you do, is irreplaceable, because it will level up and you will have the confidence of, the most confident business person, actor, whoever, if you just connect to that authentic desire to be that someone in your own way and believe in that. This pure expression of you, a certain kind of a very iconic, unique shape, that is what the world needs out of you. So don't try to be like everybody else. You're literally sitting on like billions of dollars and you don't know about it because you're too busy trying to be like somebody else. Just be who you are and come from what really fucking excites you and just apply yourself and organize yourself in such a way where you deliver. And nothing will stop you. But nothing in the world if you don't let it. Thank you very much for listening. All the information from me is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.